I do need to develop this. I need to get better at this. It was just so much. It's just so much stuff that I need to get better at that I just put on myself to try to figure out to be ready like when I get the call because I know eventually I'm gonna get the call. So I never really just looked at where I was at then and there. I just knew where I wanted to be in the future. So.
Sitting down with Tink Hence today. Tink, I'm not going to say you got a late start, but you definitely didn't get an early start in your career. I read that you started pitching at 14. Is that correct?
I started pitching before that, but when I started to take it serious and kind of not necessarily put the position aside, but when I just felt like that's what I love doing the most and kind of where I just felt that I was the best.
So like when you start a little bit later, because I mean guys are throwing at 9, 10 years old already. Like, did you feel like you had a late start when it came to that?
Not necessarily, because when I was younger, me, my dad, and my brothers, we all like did everything. So I was actually the first one out of like the group of my brothers to just kind of start pitching. Like my other brothers, they was position this and that, but when I came around, my dad kind of wanted to try something a little more, put a little more on me, and I'm here today. So
when you were playing positions, like, because like when I grew up playing, right, like it was little league, you're like doing everything, right? Like you're literally like every inning, you're like moving positions and stuff. Like I fell in love with catching like pretty early, and after that I was like, I don't want to do anything else other than catch. So was it like you fell in love with pitching, or were you, because like we were talking to Max Rajic the other day on the show too, he was saying that like he still wanted to hit once he got to college, and then UCLA was like, nah, you can't hit anymore. So like was there ever that conflict for you, like, man, I still love this, but where were you at in your head in that moment?
I believe for a while it was until like once travel ball kind of got a little more intense. You know, as a kid, you play everywhere, everybody hits. But once it just started batting 9, and I went from hitting and kind of batting up, and then I started batting last, and it just kind of, I don't say it just affected me because I wanted to win regardless. I was having fun. I just knew like when I got on the mound, it was like a different mode that kind of clicked, and I always look back on it, and I continue to hit. In high school I hit, but just when I just thought about my future, I was like, I feel like when I'm on the mound, that's when I feel like myself. So that's kind of how it came. You know, my dad wanted me to hit. I like to hit, and I actually used to hit a lot of home runs, love to hit, but just so happened, you know, I feel like God planned this out for me, so that's how it turned out.
So you get out of high school and you are committed to Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
You ended up like, I know when guys get like that first round pick or whatever, it's pretty clear. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this. But I think you have a little bit of a middle ground. You get that CBA B round. So like you're a little bit later. You're not like super late, but you're getting a little bit later. What was the decision for you? Was that a conflict in your head that you had to choose between Arkansas, which is an incredible program, versus going to the pros?
For the longest that I liked it. Like I was looking at Arkansas as kind of what I looked up to growing up. I always wanted to be a professional, but you know, I thought high school, college, pros. That's how like kind of how you grow up. But then once you kind of get around that age where you learn more about like you can come out of high school or you could do this or that. So kind of when the decision came, it was tough. You know, that year they put the draft to 5 rounds. Didn't really know how I was gonna go. A lot of teams saying they like me, and going through that process. But at the end of the day, you never really know like who's gonna pick you or call your name. So it was kind of just in between. I know when the COVID stuff happened, like my dad, we was talking like, what you gonna do? Are you ready to go to college? This, and that. And I was just I was telling myself like, I want to get drafted. That's been my dream, you know. And I feel like it's this where I wanted to take it. And, you know, once the COVID shut the season down, no school, none of that, I just kind of thought deep down, I was like, if I'm not going to be able to do nothing, I want to play baseball. I wasn't going to go to school to be like a doctor or something. So I was like, baseball really all I got if I really look at it. So I just kind of took that and then ran with it and been blessed so far. So
yes, that's crazy then. So if you like since you didn't go to Arkansas, that means like your last day of school, like ever, essentially, unless you go back later in life, obviously. But like your last day of school is such a weird specific moment. Then,
it's crazy. I always look back at I like wish everything happened for a reason. So I kind of look back like maybe I could have did this if I would have had that year, or but you can't really look in the past and try to control this. All you can do is look forward, and that's really what I took from that day. I had to grow up kind of quick. Even when I was playing travel ball, I used to travel on my own a lot, so I kind of fell in love with that, like just traveling and doing these different places, playing against some of the best. And I feel like pro ball was kind of the route that I was going to be able to go play those higher level players and just go out and compete no matter what's the age, no age limit. So.
You've already mentioned your dad on a couple of occasions here, and I know that you're super close with your dad. Throughout this whole process, like you said, like he was talking to you about the college stuff and what you were planning to do with your career. But now that you've chosen this path, and now that you're starting to really like get down this path, like it's starting to get a little more serious.
Yeah.
What has your dad been saying like this whole time?
See, it's crazy. So when I was younger and kind of like in high school, he was more tough on me, like, to kind of do this or do that and going, but like that's kind of just because of me. I'm kind of a quiet kid. I don't really say much, but I just kind of stay in my little zone and do what I feel like I need to do and stuff. But my dad looking from the outside, kind of looking at me like, I think you need to do this or do that. So now he done seen that I'd been away from him and kind of knowing that I'm smart. Like he trained me to be able to go out on my own and be able to learn, be a good kid, and just be the best that I can. So I feel like now that I done got older, he could kind of sit back and know that he did everything he could. So now it's kind of like my like choices and stuff. So he real good at kind of just checking in, and he got my brothers that he kind of talk a lot to. So anytime like I'm talking to my brothers, they'll make sure that I'm keeping everything straight or how I'm feeling. So it's good that I feel like he kind of laid back a little bit. When you were younger, sometimes you could get tired of hearing it, but I feel like he did a pretty good job of raising me, and I fought through it, and that's who I am today. So I thank him a lot for it.
You mentioned your brothers. I know you got like a crazy athletic and massive family there. You had two brothers and playing college ball, and you got a brother playing college football, right?
Yeah, not no more, but back
he
when,
was. Yeah.
When.
So like, obviously a competitive household with that, but is it just this part of the family that's super athletic, or is it the Hence family throughout?
It's Hence family throughout. I also got a little brother and sister on my mom's side. My little brother's I feel like he's gonna be pretty good. He played all the sports and everything, so I'm gonna try to do my best as I can to kind of get them some information, especially as they getting older and getting into high school and going through certain stuff, and then like my littlest brother that's with my dad a lot, they run around and make sure I stay on him and kind of talk to him, because I know how it could be when you're young and a dad just fussing and yelling, and you kind of everything going in your mind. So it was good for me because I had older brothers around that could kind of be like, you good, like chill. But for my littlest brother, it's a little different. So he's the only one just sitting around. So it could be a little different for him. So.
Were you one of those like multi-sport kids too, or were you?
Yeah. So I really liked it football a little bit. I liked the basketball. I feel like basketball was my second favorite. I liked the football too. I just didn't play it as much. My dad kind of held us out, but he didn't really want us going out and getting hurt. And just growing up, I played a little football, but not too much. And then the basketball I let go in 9th grade. So I played a pretty good sports variety to kind of stay athletic throughout the whole summer or whatever. So
there's something that's been kind of brewing in Major League Baseball, and it's not the greatest thing. Black major leaguers are down. It's around 6% now participation in Major League Baseball. How does that make you feel? Like, what do you think about when you see those statistics?
It's actually crazy to really think about. I feel like I really didn't know that coming into the game. I grew up seeing it, love to play it. My dad loved it, so kind of just falling into that tree. I feel like that's kind of what we was growing up on. But just to look in the like the MLB and kind of see that there's not too many African Americans in the game now, and it's crazy that like when we work out and stuff, like you got to think about that. Like when you putting in work or you doing this or you studying or you trying to get better, that all like plays into it. So I feel like it's good to know that type of information so you could just work as hard just to know that if you get this chance, like you're blessed, you got to make the most out of it, and you got to just put on for like the guys. Some guys might have loved it, might not could afford to travel or get those looks or anything, because I feel like it's plenty of ball players that I seen like growing up that I feel like if they had the guidance or a certain situation to somebody that just fell in love with them and wanted to teach them the game and show them that they could have a chance too. But God got a plan, and not everybody's gonna get blessed enough with opportunity. But the ones that He do bless, you could carry that on your shoulder well and try to do the best that you can for the guys.
Do you feel like a sense of like leadership that you have to kind of carry this mantle? Is that like part of your game? Do you wear that on your sleeve?
I'm not necessarily aware, but just I feel like mine is just myself, my pride for me, and then my last name and my family. So that's why I go out and kind of do what I do. But I always think about that it's not as easy. Like you might not get as many chances as somebody else. So you gotta go do your thing and really kind of just go 2 times as hard. A lot of times you can take it easy, but just keep fighting and keep trying to strengthen yourself and challenge yourself. That's what I feel like the biggest, just being able to challenge yourself and be a competitor.
Swing and a miss, got him on a changeup. That is a nasty pitch from Tink Hence.
I mean, I know you and your brother. Obviously, your brother now with the Dodgers and stuff. So, like, there's a wave coming. Obviously, we've seen Victor Scott this season, what he's been able to do and get the call. It's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about your development. I feel like your development is being pulled in 2 directions because, on one hand, you're moving so quick through the system. But on the other hand, it seems like the Cardinals are kind of like taking this slow as much as they can. Like, how do you deal with that in your head? Like, how do you feel? Are you being pulled? Are you feeling like you're being pulled in 2 different directions?
Not really. I feel like after that first season that I had, once I got into my first full season, 2022, and they had the strict pitch limit on me, I feel like once they sat me down and kind of explained like what they were trying to do, like I just took it as like, okay, like I understand I'm young. I do need to develop this. I need to get better at this. It's just so much stuff that I need to get better at that I just put on myself to try to figure out to be ready like when I get the call, because I know eventually I'm gonna get the call. So I never really just looked at where I was at then and there. I just knew where I wanted to be in the future. So all that I just looked at as I'm just looking at it as practice and just repetition to become who I want to be. So just when I go out, I don't really care like I need to move up here or move there. Just kind of just staying present and just fixing everything that I need to be to where I feel like I got my confidence to where when I get that call that I'm just going out and enjoying the game the same way. A lot of times you can get that call and go up and make it bigger than what it is. Even though it's a big accomplishment, you still got to play the game the same way and continue to love the game. So
yeah, the hard part is getting there. The harder part is staying there.
Yep.
So
every time,
you're kind of, again, like I was saying, it's starting to get a little real now, right? Once you get to AA ball, it's like this is serious now. What's also been super serious is getting that first big league camp. What was the most surprising thing about that experience?
Camp.
Because I mean, obviously, you're seeing guys like you're seeing big leaguers every day, and you're around real baseball. At that point.
It's really just seeing the pro guys. They really like the same as us, just a little way more consistent and kind of they go about their day a certain way to where they come into the day kind of with a plan on. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stretch I'm gonna stretch this way. For recovery today. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and kind of just the way they kind of I feel like orchestrated. Like they kind of got a plan. If something go wrong, they got something quick to kind of switch it around and just get on top of it. So I feel like that was the biggest thing I learned from the big league guys was just they kind of got it orchestrated and planned. I've been doing a way better job at kind of getting a little notebook and just writing little things down here and there. Because a lot of times I'm a good listener and got good memory, but some things might slide by, and just you having that notebook or something to just keep tabs on it, I feel like the biggest thing that I could do to get myself onto that level.
I know you were chatting with Sonny Gray and Keenan Middleton here this past spring. Like, what were those conversations like?
I feel like a lot with Sony was just I love this mindset. He kind of reminded me of myself because I kind of just asked him some things and he just kind of ran off with it and just kind of explained me a little bit of his life and his journey here. And like even like he done had a longer journey than me. I'm just now going through the minors, going through this, and he didn't have multiple, probably I don't know how many years, a lot of years in the big leagues. So he done been through it, been at his lowest in the big leagues and been at his highs and worked through everything. So I feel like that kind of picked me up a lot because he was a guy that probably never really struggled until he got to to the show or whatever. So kind of just seeing how he went through it and how he doing it as an older man, just to kind of try to soak it into my brain as a younger guy and just slowly build. Because the sooner you learn a lot about the game and the things that's gonna come across and just having that mental right, it'll take you a long ways than you think. So that was the biggest thing I learned from Sony was his mindset for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about the stuff you're throwing. Tell me about your changeup. How did that all come to be? How did that evolve?
So like in high school, I threw it, but never really had to use it. So when I got the pro ball, that was one of the biggest things that I kind of wanted to bring together because high school or really growing up, I was a big fastball curve slider. Like everybody threw those pitches. But as I got closer to, chasing my dream and becoming a professional, I had to kind of just got to learn and adapt and add things to make yourself more effective and make yourself special. So really it just started with a little circle change grip that I learned from when I was younger, and just as I got older, learned more and started to trust it more, and before I knew it, it was one of the pitches that I kind of love to use. So it been big for me, and it's crazy that it came a long way. I think I was talking about it when I got drafted, or a year or so when I got drafted, about how I wanted to bring that pitch along, and I feel like it was going to be a pretty good pitch because a lot of people probably, he's a big curveball guy or good breaking ball, but needs something else to kind of throw people off. So I just want to be a dominant pitcher to both sides. So I feel like the changeup kind of pulls that in to let me mess with both sides. So
I know every guy, especially now as you get further and further into your career, you start building out your pregame routine. Like what you're doing every day you're starting, especially as a starter. So take me through your pregame routine from morning until first pitch.
It depends. Like today was a little early day, but on a typical day, I probably try to get as much rest as I can, probably around 11 or something around there. I probably get something to eat, a little snack. I'm not a big eater on the day that I throw, so I get some light, little fruit, kind of just eat that and just let it chill and probably nap again before I head to the field. Once I get to the field, probably just sit in there with the guys, just talk, joke around for a little bit, have a little time to waste until around, say the game at 6, around like 4, start stretching around, just doing little stuff to get the body moving, stretching, probably drink some water, just kind of hydrate before the game, maybe a little snack or so, and then about 5 o'clock is when I start to try to do things to get me like the blood flowing, get me breathing a bit, try to get a sweat. That's the most thing the biggest thing I try to do is kind of get a sweat and know that my body's loose. So when I go out and get the throwing, that I'm not overthinking something and just really just going out having fun. Yeah.
Pitch to Rosario on the way. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball right by him. And that's out number 2.
All right, we're going to do this on every single one of these now. We're doing Cardinals Quickfire, so I have a whole bunch of questions I'm just going to throw your way. Have nothing to do with each other, and we're just going to roll with it. What is the best thing to eat in your hometown of Pine Bluff, Arkansas?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah.
What's one luxury you can't live without?
Video game.
Okay, there you go.
For sure.
What are you playing then?
MLB,
okay.
Call of Duty. I play everything.
Okay, cool. Who was your favorite player growing up?
Right now I go with Ventura, kind of another guy that for the Royals was an undersized guy because I just kind of started to put the height on as I graduated high school. So I was always the littlest guy really on the team, but I had the competitiveness from that guy that I love to see from a pitcher.
What's the story behind the number 3 chain?
Just really, that's always been my number. Growing up, I always had 3. And I ain't really been able to get in pro ball so much because I ain't the smallest on the team no more. So, but 3, I kind of just rocked out with it from me wearing 3 growing up, and I was the 3rd child. So I it just kept going with it. I just ended up just so happened to like 3, and then as it going on, it just started to be a part of me. So that's why I like it.
What do you remember most about pitching in the Futures game?
How loose I got, like how quick I got loose. Like I think I threw maybe 4 throws, stretch 4 throws. I ain't never been this ready to go pitch in 4 throws. But just I think the atmosphere and just the adrenaline rush that it gave me was something I never had before. So.
If you were able to do that every time, then you would never need to warm up
never,
again.
Never.
Just keep doing that every day. Save you a lot of time at least. Who's a teammate or a future teammate that you're glad you won't have to face?
Right now, I give it to RJ. RJ, I don't know. It's something about him. He real smart and he just able to put the bat on the ball. Like I feel like every time I done seen him go at the bat, like. He done been able to put together like good ABs every time, or he's barreling something up somewhere, some way. So
yeah, he's on it.
Yep.
He's on it. He don't let you get anything by him.
Nothing.
If you could face one hitter, alive or dead, who would it be? Like a real test. You get one guy.
I gotta go Barry Bonds then, because I feel like he had some of the most craziest power, and then just the way he can just contact with the ball, I feel like that'd be a dangerous matchup, power on power for sure.
Yeah.
So
I would think that would be a good one. Okay, we're going to do a couple of these. These are in or out. So I'm going to give you one thing, and you just tell me if it's in or if it's out. First one, robot umps.
I say in.
Wearing jewelry while pitching.
Yeah, yep.
Last one, pitch comp.
Yeah, I love y'all. I like the pitch coming. It really make it easier for us because a lot of times with this clock, trying to get the signs rolling, and sometimes you get up there and you got to throw what he put down. So the pitch comp was real big in spring training. I feel like it helped a lot to take away from the guys that try to steal the signs and that type of stuff. So I feel like it made the game more straight up and kind of honest. You know, you want to find the edge any way you can, but kind of just that kind of take away that edge. Now you have to worry about something else for the guys to look for. So
all right, I'm gonna give you 2 things now. So this is called this or that. You got to pick one. High socks or no show?
What, pitching or
just in everyday life?
Everyday life, I go no show.
No show. Okay. High tops or low tops?
Low top. I'm a low top guy.
Okay. TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
Instagram guy. Okay. Spotify or Apple Music?
On Spotify now. I was Apple Music. On Spotify now.
Hear that, Apple? You just lost one. And then last one here. Last one in the Cardinals Quickfire. What music's on repeat right now?
Right now, I've been listening to a guy named Huncho from Atlanta. kind of up and coming artist, but just I like to kind of bring me up a little bit, kind of what I listen to on a game day to get my mind right, and just like determination type thing. Like sometimes the music, just listening to them and then just kind of just feeling the beat and just trying to build some, kind of like build my own adrenaline a lot of times. So, yeah.
Awesome. Tink Hence, crushing it. Thanks
Yes,
for joining
sir.
us, man.
Thank you.